I've been using the Logitech G Cloud for a year now, and I have some updated thoughts. If you saw my previous video, which was titled In Defense of the Logitech G Cloud, then you know that I'm a big fan of this device. So I was really happy when Logitech reached out and asked if I wanted to do an updated sponsored video for the Logitech G Cloud 1 year later, and of course the answer is yes, I love this thing, so let's get into it. One thing I have to talk about right off the bat is the build quality of the G Cloud. I have two kids that are pretty reckless, and they have used this thing quite a bit, along with myself, and I'm actually pretty reckless as well. I've dropped it several times and it is still holding up just fine. No issues with the sticks, with the buttons, with the triggers. Everything is working splendidly. And speaking of the build, the G Cloud is really comfortable to hold and honestly pretty dang portable because of its light weight. In comparison to the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally, this thing is light as a feather. One thing I absolutely have to shout out is the battery life of the G Cloud. Like, compared to the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally, it is night and day. Like, this thing will last all day, 12 hours. And you might be saying, well, yeah, this is a streaming device. Of course it's going to last long. It's not actually putting in any work. That's not 100% true because this is essentially an Android tablet. It can run native games on it as well as streaming games. And you can also, of course, emulate on it. And when you're doing that, the battery still lasts a long time, which I absolutely adore. And honestly, I took for granted until I started using the ROG Ally, which just dies so fast. Like, it is comedic how fast that device dies, but not the G Cloud. The G Cloud will last all damn day long. So you might be wondering, what has changed in the past year for the Logitech G Cloud? Has there been any software updates or big changes? Yes, there has. Not only has the device received a lot of optimization updates, for tablet games that are touch only like Genshin Impact or Call of Duty Mobile, you can now program the physical buttons onto the screen. So those games that were once touch only, you can play with a controller now. As you can see in this Genshin Impact footage, you simply drag whichever button you want to be on the touchscreen, where you want it, you click enable, and boom. You don't have to use the touchscreen anymore. It's all physical buttons. I didn't even think this sort of thing was possible until now, but it's freaking awesome because who wants to use a touchscreen to play a game? I mean, come on, what are we, 12 years old? We want to use buttons. But keep in mind, some native tablet games just recognize that you're using a controller, and you don't have to use the touchscreen at all. You can just use the G Cloud's buttons, like for example, Rocket League Sideswipe or Diablo Immortal. You can just straight up use the controller without having to worry about programming anything. It just recognizes the buttons, which is awesome. And that's not the only quality of life improvement. They've also added customizing joystick sensitivity and setting dead zones for both joysticks and triggers. Now let's talk about the price of the G Cloud because a lot of people were unhappy with the $350 launch price, but now it's $300, so cut off $50 of that, $300. I think that's a way better asking price, and that might still sound a little steep, but let's get into what this thing can actually do because it is literally an all-in-one device for like almost every single gaming platform. And first off, you have to have a pretty decent internet connection. I'm assuming a lot of you do if you clicked on this video, but that's just a must when it comes to the G Cloud if you want to get as much out of it as possible. So when the G Cloud launched, they were really marketing alongside Xbox with Remote Play and xCloud, and it works great. I love using those on the G Cloud, but that's not all it can do. You can stream PlayStation 5 games to the G Cloud as well. So if you were thinking about buying the PlayStation Portal that can only stream PS5 games, you could do that, which only has one use and one purpose, or you could buy a G Cloud and stream PS5 games to it along with PC, Xbox, like I said, native tablet games, emulation. You could have all of that on the G Cloud for $100 more, which I think is totally worth it. But anyway, yes, you can stream PS5 games to this device. You simply download an app called PS Play, and then you connect it to your PS5, and boom, it works. And it looks crisp, 1080p, 60 frames per second streaming, and it looks fantastic. And that's another thing to note. The screen of the G Cloud just looks really crisp. Like, this is higher resolution than the Steam Deck, higher resolution than the Switch, and it's immediately apparent whenever you're playing games on it. They've even added a little section on the home screen where you click and it shows you all of the different streaming partners that Logitech teamed up with. However, PS Play is not a part of that group, so you'll just have to go to the Google Play Store and buy it for like $6 or something like that. But yeah, if you have decent internet, the G Cloud is literally an all-in-one device. Like, I can just lay in bed, play my PS5 on the G Cloud, then play my Series X on the G Cloud, then play my PC on the G Cloud. This is like my dream handheld. It has everything that I could possibly want it to. And like I said, it's still an Android tablet. So if you want to lay in bed and watch Netflix and then watch HBO, play your Xbox Series X, then play your PS5, you can do it all from one device. One single device. And it's not just streaming, like I said. Native games on here too. I don't play a lot of mobile games, but on the G Cloud I checked out, like I said, Genshin Impact. Hell, Rocket League Sideswipe is one I actually play a lot on the G Cloud because it's just really fun and it's great to use actual buttons with. So yeah, it's been 1 year with the Logitech G Cloud, and I've been praising this thing since I got it, but I'm really happy Logitech reached out so I can make this video for you guys to just reiterate, this device is awesome. It's totally worth the asking price. I probably have like freaking 500 hours on this thing already. Like it is great. So thanks so much if you made it this far in the video. Be sure to check the link in the description to get your Logitech G Cloud or the pinned comment down below. Thanks again, and we will talk to you guys next time. See ya.